Hello everybody, welcome to a video. This is a video where I'm not showing records, I am showing records, but I'm not doing concert reviews, I'm not doing a contest. I just want to talk about a genre of music that is not often talked about, and that is the official slash non-official genre called cosmic country. Now, for those of you that know my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of Americana. I love indie, I love folk, I love jangle pop, obviously, like the Beatles and the Byrds. Um, Songwriters, I love that. But within that, there is a genre called cosmic country. Um, Somebody asked Graham Parsons of the Byrds, one-time member of the Byrds, what kind of music he played, and he just called his music cosmic American music. And that, I guess, not necessarily the official start of cosmic country, because I'm going to show something that predates Graham Parsons, but that cosmicness about it, that word is associated with it, kind of latched on in the 70s. So you might be sitting there thinking, what on earth is cosmic country? Well, obviously, when you think of something as cosmic, you kind of think maybe spacey, maybe a little, outside of the norm. And that's what cosmic country is. It merges country and western music with some psychedelia, a little bit of rock, and puts the two together. It's not southern rock, so it's not like Leonard Skinner or 38 Special, and it's not, country rock. Even though there are country rock artists within that realm, but there's a certain sound that comes from cosmic country, and part of the reason I love it so much is cosmic country often incorporates pedal steel guitar. A lot of times this pedal steel guitar is set up with all sorts of hookups and pedals and things to make it sound a little bit more, not they don't want to make it sound like like an old 50s George Jones record, or like Hawaiian music, which was where the steel guitar kind of really kicked off, was in Hawaii. But I'm going to take you to the late 50s, early 60s with this guy right here. This is Buck Owens, and Buck Owens was a country singer. He was a co-host on Hee Haw, the TV show with Roy Clark, and he had his own outfit called the Buckaroos. This is an album by Buck Owens and his Buckaroos called Open Up Your Heart. And so you have, Buck Owens, who came from the traditional country realm, but kind of merged and created his own sound called the Bakersfield sound, which originated in Bakersfield, California, where Buck Owens kind of set up shop and home base. So you have again, country elements, country kind of lyrics, simple lyrics, simple chords, but you had these tight harmonies, like bluegrass style harmonies with Buck Owens, and you also incorporated that kind of trippy pedal steel guitar and great lead guitar playing. And it had a rock feel to it. So he was pulling in kind of a younger crowd into the country music, which at that point was, kind of an old person's thing. I mean, you had, guys like Hank Snow, for example, or, Pat Boone, guys like that, even though Pat Boone kind of merged onto the pop realm. Buck Owens brought a youth factor into country music, and it's never really left. Even the crap that they call country music today, Buck Owens kind of was one of the early ones to lay the groundwork for that sound. So Buck Owens, again, 50s and the 60s. So let's merge then. You had groups like the Beatles that were putting in country songs, like I've Just Seen a Face. Then you had even groups like, the Monkees, obviously, with Michael Nesmith, who I'll talk about here in just a second, bringing country songs, like one song onto an album, like Papa Jean's Blues, or, what am I doing hanging around? by Michael Martin Murphey. But the kicker, I would say, to that rock and country merging is this record right here, which was kind of the inspiration for this video. I listened to this today, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. This is Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Byrds. Essentially, you have the original Byrds, Chris Hillman and Roger McGuinn, with their newest member, Graham Parsons, on his one Byrds appearance. And you had Kevin Kelly on drums, who is Chris Hillman's cousin. This is considered a country rock album, but it's really a straight-ahead country album. But this album, I would say, more than any other album, spearheaded so many rock groups to try out the genre. I mean, at this point, you had Bob Dylan doing his thing in Woodstock with the band. The band was really just about to come into their own the following year at Woodstock, which, groups like, Eric Clapton, artists like Eric Clapton, George Harrison, Leon Russell would follow after this album. But this is essentially all cover songs and a couple of originals, including The Great Hickory Wind by Graham Parsons. The Byrds went on to the Grand Ole Opry and were booed because they had long hair. They were not from the South, really, even though they had elements of that in their music. Even before this, songs like Mr. Spaceman are country songs. But again, you have that kind of like that spacey pedal steel guitar, especially on the last song, Nothing Was Delivered. Very cosmic country. There's a lot of just straight ahead country songs on here, like The Christian Life and that sort of thing. But you have non-Southern singers doing country music with that pedal steel, electric guitar, instruments like that. So Sweetheart of the Rodeo launched 1,000 ships, I would say. And again, from that, Graham Parsons left. He had a very brief career. This is a Grievous Angel, which is essentially a duets album with Emmylou Harris. But he did not want to follow the Byrds' vein. He wanted to do his own thing, so he left the Byrds, or was kind of kicked out, really, by Roger McGuinn after just a few months, and put out some great stuff. This is a Grievous Angel, and again, you have like that California background mixed with these kind of rock psych elements, which make this such a cool sound. And then again, from that, the Byrds kept going on, putting out albums like Untitled with Clarence White on the B-Bender guitar. There's Clarence right there up in front, who was a session guy on Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and he eventually became a full-time member of the Byrds. Clarence had a bluegrass background and was playing the electric guitar almost like a bluegrass instrument, and he had that really cool effect, the B-Bender, where the B string was attached to his strap, well, to a peg on the guitar that he could move his shoulder, and it would go up and down like a pedal steel guitar. So some trippy stuff on here, like Lover of the Bayou. They kind of space out stuff like, Mr. Spaceman, 8 Miles High, but they make it this rocky country kind of sound, but it's not Southern rock. Another album, and really most albums after Sweetheart of the Rodeo had these elements. Easy Rider, the Ballad of Easy Rider, stuff like It's All Over Now, Baby Blue is very trippy. Oil in My Lamp, they really draw out, that's an old traditional gospel song, kind of make it a little bit psyche with the vocals, again stretching out harmonies and doing really cool stuff with that. And then again, another one of the original members of the Byrds, Gene Clark, would go on. He was really only on the first 2 Byrds albums. This Is No Other, one of his solo albums. He also did work with Doug Dillard, with Dillard and Clark, the banjo player. Again, kind of following the same vein as Parsons. And really all the Byrds went off and did country elements. I mean, Chris Hillman ended up in the Desert Rose Band, but he always kept the country elements behind him. Obviously the Flying Burrito Brothers, which is another album I could have pulled, but again, same kind of thing, with like an album like The Gilded Palace of Sin. So the Byrds were really, in all of their configurations, were putting that cosmic country sound out there. And then again, I can't do this video without talking about my main man, Mike Nesmith. This is a essentially a duo album that he did. Well, it was a concert he did with O.J. Red Rhodes, who was the pedal steel player of the First National Band, which was the first band Nesmith had after leaving the Monkees in 1970. This is live at McCabe's Guitar Shop, and it's called Cosmic Partners because that's what Nesmith and O.J. Red Rhodes thought of themselves. Again, Red is playing this unbelievable pedal steel guitar with Nesmith's kind of stream of consciousness lyrics, but with that southern twang and pulling in those roots from Texas that Nesmith had, and then pulling in the pop elements with the Monkees that he did for so many years before going out on his own. Incredible stuff, and Nesmith really took that cosmic country to the next level with O.J. Red Rhodes playing the pedal steel. Again, the introspective lyrics, they're very poetic, they're very psychedelic, they're very much, a lot of them are from the hippie mindset, but to a country beat, a country rhythm. And again, I mentioned the First National Band records. Nesmith did the Red, White, and Blue trilogy. So you have Magnetic South, Loose Salute, and Nevada Fighter, all of which have cosmic country elements. Songs like Grand Ennui, Calico Girlfriend, the very first song off the very first album, is the definition of cosmic country to me. You have Joanne. That is just a beautiful track from the first album. Also, again, Grand Ennui, Propinquity. He does a great version of Texas Morning by Michael Martin Murphey. So, again, he took it to another level with Tantamount to Treason with the Second National Band, his fourth album, which was pure psych country. This is a prime example of cosmic country, the Tantamount to Treason. So, again, Nesmith was on that ground floor with, guys like the Byrds, Graham Parsons, Buck Owens, and, he was pulling elements from all these people, and they were pulling elements from him. And it was just, again, an incredible sound, pulling the hippie sounds of the 60s with the country sounds of the 60s and putting them together. And, saying, why can't we just merge these genres? We have, kind of the more left rock and roll scene versus the more, right in terms of the politics country scene. Why can't we merge them together? And so that's what was happening in the late 60s. So we're going to jump ahead to present day, some modern examples of cosmic country. I mentioned Buck Owens. These two albums right here are the grandchildren of Buck Owens. This is Way Out West and Altitude, the two latest albums from Marty Stewart and his Fabulous Superlatives. He's drawing elements from the Byrds. He's got some Nesmith in there. He's got straight ahead country. He's got some jangle sounds. He's got a little bit of Tom Petty on here. But again, psychedelic kind of sounds. There's a song about doing drugs on tour to stay awake, and then at the end of the song he kind of says, don't do pills because they'll kill you. He's seen too many people go down that path, and he said stay clear of that, off of Way Out West. You have the song Country Star on here, which is very jangly kind of cosmic country. Again, is it rock? No, not really. Is it country? Well, Marty Stewart is labeled as a country singer. What is it? And that's the beauty of cosmic country. It's that cosmic nature of it, that blurring of lines between rock and roll, between country, between psych rock, maybe even a little bit of jazz, if you want to kind of reach a little bit. So Marty Stewart, Altitude, Way Out West, modern cosmic country records. Sturgill Simpson, this is his album, what's it called? Meta-Modern Sounds in Country Music, which is a play off of Modern Sounds in Country Music by Ray Charles. Sturgill is doing stuff on here that modern country needs. This is an album that came out in 2014, 10 years old. That's hard to believe. Those of you that know Sturgill know. He does a song called Turtles All the Way Down. He does a cover version of The Promise from the 80s. Long White Line, Life of Sin. He's pulling his experiences from psychedelic drugs and putting them into lyrics and putting in these spacey production type tones. It's just incredible music. I need you, if you love psych, if you love rock and roll, you need to check out these artists, because this is not just your standard 3-chord country music. Seriously. This is a newer album by AndrewGabbard called Sweet Cedar City Sweetheart. This album, he said, was directly, I should also say, both of these albums right here were directly inspired by Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Byrds. Marty Stewart has said it, AndrewGabbard has said it. So any album that is associated with Sweetheart of the Rodeo, I'm on it. So let me know in the comments other albums that I would like in this vein. But this is from this year, really great album, all original stuff. Again, he's kind of got like a effect on his voice, which is very kind of trippy, spacey. Again, he's got that pedal steel guitar. He's got some surf guitar elements, which again can be kind of cosmic country. Surf music is not far off from the Bakersfield sound that Buck Owens kind of created. Another artist that I didn't mention, Dwight Yoakam. I don't own any Dwight Yoakam, but he's another one, direct descendant of Buck Owens. He's influenced by Marty Stewart. Marty Stewart's influenced by him. It just goes around and around. So there's another one. And then I'm wearing my Lord Huron shirt. Lord Huron, though not necessarily country per se, they have all the elements of cosmic country, of psych country, if you will. Beautiful atmospheric production, pedal steel guitars, kind of mournful guitar tones, great harmony, introspective lyrics, maybe some songs that could turn into some jams a little bit, maybe, even though none of these songs are really jam songs. Some elements of rockabilly as well. So this is Long Lost, the latest album by Lord Huron. So I apologize if this video is too niche. It's thundering outside too. Hopefully some of you will follow this, like it. I just wanted to talk about one of my favorite genres and kind of talk about what it's all about and, you know, why non-country fans should get into it. Because I don't like mainstream country music at all. But I love good lyrics. I love a great band, and all of these records hold those elements. So thank you all for indulging me on this one. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Yeah, y'all be good. Take care, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye now.